irrational beliefs. I don't like adversity. I wish it weren't so. What a pain in the butt. And those will lead to sorrow, regret, and frustration when you're blocked at A, adversity, or you can have irrational beliefs. I must do well. People have to treat me kindly and nobly, and the world must be easy and give me what I want when I want it. And if you have those beliefs and they get blocked by adversity, then you'll feel depressed, anxious, despairing, horrified, terrified, panicked, addictive, etc. So we acknowledge that it's A, adversity, times B, your belief system, which equals C. Either your healthy negative feelings or your unhealthy negative feelings. And if you have unhealthy ones, we show you that you have at least one should, absolutistic, should, ought, or must, and we dispute that, not your goals and values, not your preferences, not what you want and don't want, but just your demands that you must do well, you must be approved by others, you must have people treat you the way you want them to, and that the world must give you good conditions. And we get to E, an effective new philosophy. I would like adversity not to exist, and I would like to get what I want, but I want it. But I never have to. It's not necessary. It's only preferential and desirable, but not necessary. With that, we have many other cognitive methods, many behavioral methods, a great many of them, and many emotional, evocative, experiential methods of getting you, the client, or the person who reads my books and listens to my tapes, to minimize your irrational beliefs and maximize your rational beliefs and enjoy yourself and have a very good time, we hope, in life. That's a brief summary of some of the main elements of rational emotive behavior therapy.
You know, for my fellow mental health professionals who are in this room, you know, sometimes some of the greatest, sometimes you don't know it when some of the greatest moments in life are happening. And this is one of them. This is an opportunity for you to actually interact with Dr. Albert Ellis, arguably the most prominent living psychologist alive today. So I want to see a show of hands with any questions here. Until I do, I'm going to follow up and ask Dr. Ellis to further exemplify your model. Would you please describe the three basic insights of rational emotive behavior therapy, because I think this really distills the essence of your model.
Yes, Jeff, there are many insights in rational emotive behavior therapy, but three of the main ones are: one, you don't merely get disturbed by the adversities that happen to you in your lifetime. Make yourself disturbed or non-disturbed, sorry, regretful, disappointed, frustrated about them. And insight number two is, no matter when you started doing this kind of self-disturbing, usually when you were a child, but it could have been when you were an adolescent or even an adult, you now continue to do so. So it's the continuing to believe in irrational, self-defeating beliefs and socially defeating beliefs that you keep actively doing even though you unconsciously may not realize that you do it. And three, the insight number three, is that insight alone will not help you change. You have to have the insight, that's very good, but nothing but work and practice, to think against, to feel against, and to act against your self-defeating philosophy will change you and keep you changed and get you to the point where eventually we would hope, though that is somewhat ideal, you would not upset yourself about even very great adversities that happen to you.
Dr. Ellis, I work a lot with teenagers and middle school kids who are put in positions where you can deal with them one-on-one and maybe help them make different choices about their irrational beliefs. But then they're put back into their home where their irrational beliefs are reinforced day after day after day. Do you have any thoughts, or could you speak to that, please?
Yes, they're encouraged by their culture, their family, the movies, mass media, to think irrationally as well as rationally. It's not just irrationally, but they're encouraged to go back to their demanding, their insisting, their commanding, their shoulds, oughts, and musts. Now, they might naturally do it even without that encouragement, but they easier do it with that encouragement and fall back. And we, therefore, in rational emotive behavior therapy, remind them that they did it again. They thought in terms of, I must do well, you must treat me well, the world must be easy, and they better give it up again and again and again till they automatically and unconsciously, rarely, not never, but rarely sink back to masturbating instead of happily masturbating. Practice way, but at the same time we tend to show every single member of the family, the father, the mother, the 2 or 3 children, that they also, along with the family, upset themselves. So especially when they're angry at each other, which they usually are, each one of the 2 or 3 or 4 members of the family are saying, A, you other people treat me the way I don't like, which may be very true, and I can't stand it, and you're no damn good for doing that. You must not treat me badly, you must treat me the way I want to. So we show them that they can't directly change the other members of the family. They can help to change it with techniques we show them how to use indirectly, but they can always change themselves and minimize their anger, their horror about the other people's doings and feelings and behavings, and then they're much more likely to get along and be received happily by the other family members. So we get them to change their own thinking, feeling, and behaving, but also we show them methods of listening